Lives of our Saints. On the 2nd of April, our church celebrates the feast day of St. Gregory. The following are some details on his life and works. Born in 1240 in Bithynia, where St. Paul had preached centuries before, St. Gregory was a precocious child who shunned the playgrounds in favour of the Christian faith. While still a boy, he was deeply committed to Christ and was prepared to serve him. Consequently, he entered a monastery as a youth, and from then on he never ceased to amaze those about him with his outstanding knowledge of the Church Fathers, the saints, the Scriptures, and every phase of the Christian religion. Such was his profound interpretation of the Bible that older monks looked up to him as one who enjoyed a close proximity to God. Monasticism is a noble calling, but there are few who remain what they were before entering a monastery. For this reason, there were some in Gregory's company who looked upon him with envy. The more laurels he acquired, the greater this envy grew, to the point that some plotted against him. Jealously replaced morality when these few sought to discredit Gregory, even going so far as to bribe false witnesses to testify that Gregory had made away with holy chalices and other valuable articles. But Gregory had no difficulty proving his innocence. He then decided to leave his retreat for a better atmosphere. Gregory had a brother who joined him, and both entered a monastery near Nicodemia. Gregory was ordained while his proud brother looked on. His reputation grew, extending beyond the walls of the cloister, and served to attract candidates whose numbers grew, so that complete solitude was impossible. In order to escape the crowded conditions, he withdrew from the monastery altogether. Together with his brother, he sought out a mountain crest, which had been the alleged hermitage of the prophet Elijah, finding in that holy spot the serenity that afforded him closer communion with God. 3 uneventful years passed, when he suddenly found himself to be a vessel of the Lord, not only with prophetic powers, but a source of healing through the power of the Holy Spirit. His wondrous reputation grew, and in spite of himself, he could find no refuge from crowds who simply refused to leave him alone. Among those who sought him out were those who looked upon him with even greater envy than he had first known. While his miraculous powers had won him a host of admirers, they also served to stir up those who became his enemies. Again, reason gave way to mental aberration, which led to their sending a woman of ill repute, with a ridiculous notion that the holy man would fall prey to her wiles. Coming face to face with her supposed victim, she began to wither in his glance, and fell to her knees speechless, as she felt a weird ailment coming over her. As she cringed helplessly, the man she came to destroy gestured, and she felt revived and healthy again. She in turn shouted his praises, and vowed to sin no more. Gregory's enemies did not give up after this foolish act, but arranged to have false rumours spread about him, so thoroughly and with such seeming authority that the archbishop began looking into the false charges. The archbishop was forced to summon Gregory before him to settle the matter, but what took place en route was enough to vindicate the man once again falsely accused. Astride a horse, Gregory reached a river and was seen by many crowds as his mount proceeded to walk across the river without so much as a hoof below the water level. This wondrous sight of a steed walking on with the cleric on his back cleared the air of any charges. Told of this miracle, the archbishop saw to it that Gregory lived out the rest of his days in peace.